I'm sorry for this. Recently, I received a package in the mail. I didn't recognize the sender. It seemed harmless enough, so I opened it up. It was a DVD. The box was completely black except for white lettering on the front. It read, "You're Alive, the final season." Interesting title. I attempted to look it up online, but my searches yielded no results. I asked my roommate Kyler, who was much savvier with tech than me, to look. He couldn't find anything either. He suggested before he left that it was possible it could be some sort of dark web movie that had reached me by mistake. That sounded intriguing. Popping it in my laptop, a menu came up. There was an option for episode guide, so I clicked on that. This season ran 48 episodes long, but only the first episode had a title. It was Beginning of the End. I decided to hit play. The 40-minute runtime began, and I was instantly unnerved. The episode opened with footage of me inside my apartment. It was from last week. What the fuck? What was this? A feeling of unease had fallen over me. My mouth was dry, and I could feel my heart thumping quicker in my chest. I immediately checked my surroundings. The shot was from a single point in my room. I paused the video and went to my room. If I was correct, then it would be coming from where I usually set my laptop. Had I been hacked? Back in the living room, I resumed watching the episode. It continued to follow the same angle, which sometimes included me doing casual tasks. Then me on the screen sat down on my desk and began typing. The shot of the video switched to my laptop screen. It was me posting on creepypasta. Then a graphic popped up. A poster online triggered you. Do you ignore or respond? This moment was familiar. Some douche named Adam CZL33 had ripped into my latest story in creepypasta. I responded in kind. I used my cursor to select respond because that's what had happened. The episode ended. I want to check the episode guide again to see the title of the next episode. It was titled A Bad Call. There were 25 episodes in total. Weird. I thought there were more. My immediate thoughts were this had to be Kyler messing with me. He was the only person I knew capable of pulling off something like hacking my laptop. It was remarkably elaborate for a gag. Should I play episode 2? Ultimately, I decided yes. It was more footage from my room. It was from a few days ago when I was complaining about my broken phone. I ended up with the flip phone. In the interim, it showed Kyler and I talking. He handed me his phone and I made a call. Another graphic appeared. What do you do with Kyler's phone? Return it, or set it on the counter. Now, I was certain this was him messing with me. Was he really that annoyed I left his phone on the kitchen counter? He told me he'd only been gone for a minute before he came back in and grabbed it. This was so extra. I selected the counter option and the episode ended. I returned to the episode guide. Next up would be episode 3 out of 13. 13? I knew for a fact it had been 25 before. Why was the list of episodes shrinking? I sent Kyler a text calling him and asshole went off to bed. Just as I got uncomfortable, I received a call from my mom. I'll shoot her a text in the morning. The next morning, I woke but didn't see any sign that Kyler would come home. That was unusual. I sent my mom a quick text before heading to the living room. There sat the DVD case. Was this something I should keep watching? If he'd gone through all the trouble to create this, I might as well keep going. Episode 3, called Wheels in Motion. Unlike the last 2 episodes, this wasn't only for my laptop camera. There were shots in every room with all kinds of angles. The footage specifically focused on me, eating, gaming, sleeping, and even undressing. There was footage of it all. It sent a shiver down my spine. There were continuous shots of outgoing calls to my family that were made from my phone. I double-checked, and there they were. That was concerning. I sent another text to my mom to check in. Then I sent Kyler a text telling him the next time I see him, he's dead. The next scene showed a stainless steel hose laying on the counter. Pausing the video to go check, it was no longer there. Why would this show me that, only for it to be missing? The episode ended abruptly. The next episode was Checkmate. This one started differently. It was a shot of a road descending down a steep hill. At the bottom of the hill was a busy intersection. For a long time, nothing happened. Then a vehicle started barreling down the street. It continued accelerating until it collided with the traffic. A handful of vehicles were damaged in the process. Footage zoomed in closer on the vehicle that had run through the traffic until it reached the driver's side window. It took a moment for the film to depixelate. When it did, you could see Kyler, bloodied with a dazed look on his face. The shot lingered for a moment as he began to stir. Then the vehicle exploded, and the surrounding area was engulfed in flames. You could see mutilated bodies and vehicle debris everywhere. Civilians were even running around with limbs on fire. The footage was horrifying. I began taking long, deep breaths to calm myself. My hands had gotten clammy, and I was having trouble sitting still. Then a graphic appeared. Did you answer your mom's call last night? Yes or no? My limbs went numb. I was afraid to select no, so I hit yes. Sorry, try again. Did you answer your mom's call last night? Yes or no? There was no other choice. I hit no. The episode ended and took me to the episode guide. Now there were only 6 total episodes in the series. I called Kyler's phone and it went straight to voicemail. I called my mom, same thing. I tried the rest of my family, no response. If this was a prank, it had crossed the line. My body had chills. If I wanted to find out what was happening, I needed to contact the person who sent this to me. Digging the garbage, I found the package. The DVD had come in. The return address was on there, and so was a name, Dominic Medalgo. That's a unique name. To double check the address was valid, I googled it. It was, and only 14 minutes away. Perfect. I googled him next so I could recognize him. That's when I saw the listing for obituary. Beneath it, there were a handful of new articles about his death. I clicked on one. Dominic Medalgo, 26, was found deceased in his home Saturday morning. Neighbors had noted he hadn't been seen in a few days and called the police to check up on him. Police attempted to make contact but received no response. They broke into the home and found that Medalgo had hung himself. A sinking feeling of dread fell over me. He died a few days before I received the DVD. What was going on? Was Kyler really in that wreck? Why wasn't anyone in my family picking up? The logical thing to do would be to call the police. I dialed 911, but nothing happened. I tried again, nothing. I tried other numbers on my phone, and they worked. 911, however, couldn't be dialed. I texted a friend to call 911 for me. Message, couldn't send. This couldn't be a coincidence. Whoever was behind this wasn't letting me contact the police. There was only one way to figure this all out. I needed to keep watching. I returned home and turned on my laptop. Episode 5 was called Real Time Installing. It didn't take long to see why. I was staring at an image of myself, staring at the screen. I made a gesture and the video perfectly mimicked, as if it were a mirror. No matter what I did, the screen reacted identically. For 40 minutes, I watched myself watch the screen, waiting for something to happen in silence. I flinched at every creak or random gust of wind. However, nothing ever happened. It was time for episode 6. Finale. This episode opened with a recap of all the decisions I had made. The screen changed to that of Creepypasta. The account was AdamSeesaw33. My message to him popped up, and his screen added a new tab. It began typing dark web, and then it was placed for hit job. It was for my name and address. The screen abruptly changed. It was inside our apartment. Kyler's phone was on the counter. After a moment, he came inside and picked it up. Before leaving, a minute or so passed, and the door opened again. This time, it wasn't Kyler. It was someone wearing a mask. By coming back in for his phone, Kyler had forgotten to lock the door. The man in the mask started placing little cameras all throughout the apartment. The screen shifted once more. Now it was outside, facing Kyler's car. A man was removing something from it. It was the stainless steel hose from before. Now I recognized it. It was a brake line. The man was also holding a remote. Now the screen was in my room. A man started dialing numbers on my phone. He talked to my family with the voice modifier. He told them I was in danger and to meet them at our family cabin. The man hung up. He reached into his pocket, grabbed the brake line, and tucked it under my bed. I rushed into the other room and searched my bed. There it was. My chest was throbbing. I think I was going into shock. Kyler couldn't stop because the brakes were removed. My family was being held hostage. On the laptop, the screen had switched again. This time, it was of my family. They were tied up in a basement. A man held a phone near my mother. He told them that if I picked up, he'd let one of them go. The phone began to ring. It continued ringing. "Hi, you've reached the Quentin. Sorry I missed your call." The color drained from my mother's face. My family's captors began to laugh. I simply stared ahead. These decisions I had made, trivial, everyday decisions, had ruined my life. The screen faded to black and text appeared. "Unfortunately for you, your life has completed its final season and will not be renewed. However, you will be given the opportunity to go out strong. Use your creepypasta account. Select someone." A graphic appeared below the writing. "Type creepypasta username here. Adam Seasalt 33 is not illegible." The writing continued below the graphic. "Once you've entered a username, that person's personal details will pop up on screen. There is a package sitting in your desk drawer. Retrieve it and mail it to the next person using their personal details. This is task 1. Once you have mailed the package, you will go back onto Creepypasta and find that username. You will send them a message telling your story. This is task 2. Once you hit submit, you will be killed. If you have completed both task 1 and task 2, your family will be released unharmed. If either task is not completed, your family will die a long, painful death. You will spend the rest of your life in prison for the murder of Kyler. The cops are pulling your most recent text to him as we speak. They've been tipped off that you tampered with his vehicle. Your season may have ended, but many fans are looking forward to the spin-off." A final graphic appeared. "Will your season end with the hero saving his family? Yes or no? I've made my choice. I'm sorry, dear Creepypasta viewer. You're next."